Do we really need pre-production? Why does my video guy keep insisting on talking things through? Where does investing in pre-production pay off? If you've ever hired a production company and wondered those same questions, this video is for you. Now, I've worked on productions where we put solid time into pre-production and the shoot day ran like clockwork. But I've also worked on projects where there was minimal or no pre-production and it felt like we were just winging it on the day of the shoot. In this video, I'll take you through everything that is involved in the pre-production stage of the production process. You'll learn the fancy names for things, why we do the things with the fancy names, and what your video crew needs from you at this stage of the production. And at the end, you'll have a newfound appreciation for why we video people insist on spending so much time on pre-production, and how it can save you time and money. Before we dive into the minutiae, let's answer the question of what is the goal of pre-production. The goal of pre-production is for both the video crew and you, the client, to develop a clear, creative and logistical plan for the smooth running of the shoot and the post-production process. The producer is the person in charge and responsible for this whole stage of the production. At the end of pre-production, you should walk away with a clear understanding and agreement on the purpose of the video, the audience for the video, the distribution channels for the video, the budget, the visual style and overall look, the scripts, the storyboard, the crew, casting, locations, wardrobe, props, set design, and the production schedule. That's a whole lot of stuff, and getting on the same page with your video crew on all of this from the very beginning helps you avoid time-wasting disagreements and problems on set and in the editing room. Now, we'll get into those fancy names for the different parts of the process, and after that, I'll walk you through a little flowchart of what pre-production typically looks like. Pre-pro. The first term is pre-pro. This is just a shorter version of pre-production, because who needs those extra 2 syllables?
Ain't nobody got time for that!
Pre-production meeting. This is probably the first term that you will see the words pre-production in it. You'll most likely first see it on the quote you receive from your video crew. A pre-pro meeting is basically any meeting where you, the client, meets with the video crew to discuss the production. Depending on the scale of the project and the workflow of the video crew, you might have just one or several pre-production meetings. This can be a long and rigorous process, but the intense focus on details and transparency will save you time and money on avoidable disagreements and ensure that you get exactly what you envisioned. Director's treatment. The director is responsible for all the creative aspects of the production, and the director's treatment is their first statement on the visual style and overall look and feel of the videos. The director's treatment is a document where the director expresses their creative intent in words and images. You will often find still images and links to other videos that the director is drawing inspiration from. Looking through the director's treatment should give you a clear idea of how your videos will look. Mood board. A mood board is a collection of images which is sometimes attached to the director's treatment. The mood board gives an idea of the feeling that the director wants to convey through the use of lighting and the color palette. Script. The script is a document that lays out all the audio content and its corresponding visuals in a way that is easily understood by the whole crew. A script can take many forms. It can be written like a screenplay with dialogue and scene descriptions, or it can take a more simplified form, such as an AV script, which is commonly used on corporate videos. The script serves as a guiding document for the rest of the production process. Script breakdown. The script breakdown involves analyzing every scene in the script in detail to identify the various elements that will be required in production. This is done by the director, producer, set designer, and other key members of the crew. Storyboard. A storyboard is basically a comic book version of the script. It is not necessary for all productions, as it can be a time-consuming and expensive process, but it is very useful for projects where every shot and movement has to be planned. The director will often work with a storyboard artist to create the storyboard, but storyboards can also be created with photos instead of illustrations. Shot list. The shot list is exactly what it says it is, a list of all the shots in the video. This list is put together by the director and director of photography. The shot list includes a lot of technical detail about camera lenses, filters, camera movements, and sometimes even includes a lighting plan for each shot. Location. The term location refers to the physical places where scenes in the script will be shot. Location recce. Recce is short for reconnaissance or reconnoiter, which is a military term for observing and surveying a space. A location recce is sometimes also called location scouting, and is the process of looking for locations to shoot the videos. This is usually done by the director and director of photography. They will take photos of the different locations and try and stage the shots they had envisioned for the project. The video crew will typically present you with 2 or 3 options for each scene, and the crew and client decide on the locations together at a pre-pro meeting. Casting. Casting refers to deciding on who appears on screen. These could be actors or members of your staff, or even you yourself. Like with locations, the decision on casting is made at the pre-production meeting. Releases. Talent and location releases are legal contracts with the confirmed cast members and owners of the locations. These contracts give you, the client, the rights to use their likeness, performances, and physical spaces for the purpose of the videos. These are critically important when it comes to ensuring that you have the right to release and distribute the finished videos. Wardrobe. When people hear the term wardrobe, they tend to think of costumes, but I'm not talking about dressing up as pirates here. Wardrobe is a term used to describe everything that the cast and even the extras wear on screen. Set design. Set design is the art of making a space look good on camera. It is a process of adding and rearranging elements visible on screen to be more aesthetically pleasing. This may involve pieces of furniture, background items, and even changing colors of the elements in the background to better fit the color palette. Props. Props refer to any items other than wardrobe and set design items that are critical to the scene. Such props may include products that are being demoed or reviewed, vehicles, food items, etc., etc., etc. Pre-production deck. A pre-pro deck is the master document that lists all the creative and logistics plans for the production. This is typically put together by the producer and is presented to you at a pre-pro meeting. This document includes every detail from the script to locations to casting and wardrobe. When you and the crew agree on all the details, it becomes the master document for all the details of the project. Call sheet. A call sheet is a fancy term for a daily schedule for the shoot. Call sheets are packed with information relevant to the specific day of shooting. It contains info on the call times, which are the times that individuals are meant to be on set. It also has info on the times for sunrise, sunset, addresses for locations, important crew and client contact information, nearest hospital address, and of course, it has a minute-by-minute schedule for the day. These are super detailed to avoid any confusion amongst the cast and crew. And there you go. A whole bunch of terms for the various steps in the pre-production process. These may differ from region to region and from production company to production company, but the general idea is there. And now, as promised, here's a quick walkthrough of what a typical pre-production looks like. You can find a link to a downloadable PDF of this flowchart down in the description. Alright, for this example, let's imagine we're making a product demo video for a company making hipster bicycles. The first step in the pre-pro flowchart is the first pre-pro meeting. At this meeting, the crew meets with the client and gets a detailed brief on the purpose, audience, and distribution channels for the video. The crew and client also discuss and agree on the separation of tasks and responsibilities for the shoot. In this project, they have decided that the client will provide cast and location. Something that is vitally important in this meeting is that the crew gets a sense of the client's vision for the project. The crew then go away to start working on the script and director's treatment. When these are both ready, the crew and client meet again for a second pre-pro meeting, where the director presents the treatment and the script to the client. The client provides feedback but is overall happy with the direction that the crew is taking. The client gives the green light to proceed. Once the script is approved by the client, the crew proceeds to do a script breakdown to identify crucial elements of each scene. From this, the director and director of photography prepare a shot list. Next, the director and director of photography do a location recce of the client's premises to find suitable locations for the shoot. They also collect a list of potentials for casting from the client. The set designer takes a look at the script breakdown and the photos from the location recce and begins planning the set design for the shoot. The producer compiles all the confirmed details in a pre-pro deck, and everything is presented to the client at the third and final pre-pro meeting. The client and crew make decisions on all the details, and everything is set for the shoot. The producer will proceed to lock in the cast, locations, crew, and everything else for the day of the shoot. Leading up to the day of the shoot, the producer prepares the call sheets for all the cast and crew. They also get the confirmed cast members to bring some wardrobe options for the day. The next stage will be to rock up on set and get shooting, but that is entering the next stage of production, which we will cover in a later deep dive video. So, I hope that you can see just how much goes into pre-production and the level of detail that the video crew has to consider at this stage of production. Any mistakes, errors, or disagreements that are not dealt with at this stage will carry on into the next two stages, and some of these mistakes cannot be easily or cheaply fixed further down the production process. For example, if there was any miscommunication about the choice of cast or location, or even something as small as a wrong wardrobe option, these mistakes cannot be fixed after the shoot, and would necessitate an expensive reshoot costing you time and money. But of course, not every project needs this level of pre-production. An event highlights video, for example, does not require such a high level of detail in pre-pro. So the level of detail that your video crew will need from you depends on the complexity of the project. If your production company does not have a clear pre-pro process, that's a bit worrying, but you can just ask your producer or director what they need from you. And that concludes our deep dive into pre-production. I hope the process is clearer now, and remember that you can download the handy pre-pro flowchart from the link below. If you learned something in this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to see more of our content. And remember, the best time to plant a tree is 10 years ago, and the best time to start content marketing is yesterday. So, make content today.